Mic check 1, 2, 3. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Woodbine Mohawk Park on this Monday, July 20th, 2026. This morning, qualifying races continue. We have 12 races in total. Will be a break at the midway point of today's action. Horses for the first getting out onto the track. We'll get underway here in just a couple of moments. All right, almost set to get underway with today's qualifiers. And in our first qualifier, we are on the pace, 2-year-olds here. Scratch number 5, Diamond Diva. And we've got some driver changes. Number 3, Tender Touch. It'll be Jody Jameson. 6, Rock and Play will be Damian McClellan. And number 7, Secret Wishes. The driver will be Dale Spence. All right, here we go. First qualifier as they begin to line up. 2-year-olds here. Number 1, Biscuit in the Basket, a 2-year-old daughter of Cattle Wash. Anthony Hahn drives. Trainer is Meg Crone. Number 2 is Moment's Pleasure. First time out for this homebred daughter of Bulldog Hanover from Millar Farms. Nick Gallucci trains the drivers James McDonald. Number 3, Tender Touch, also a first-timer. Another Bulldog Hanover filly and a homebred from Millar Farms. Jody Jamieson will drive for trainer Nick Gallucci. Number 4 is Beatriz Blue Chip. This is a daughter of Better's Delight. Chantel Mitchell trains. Louis Waugh will drive. 5 is Scratched. Number 6 is Rockin' Play. This is the first qualifier for this daughter of Shadow Play for trainer Kyle Fellows. Damian McClellan will drive, a homebred for Blair and Erna Corbeil. 7 is Secret Wishes. First qualifier for the daughter of Tall Dark Stranger, who is trained by Blair Burgess. The driver will be Dale Spence. And on the outside is number 8, Dame de Coeur, a Dancin' Lou filly, first qualifier for breeder, owner, trainer Clement Louzantier. The driver is Tyler Jones. Take the 5 out, scratch down to a field of 7. First qualifier today from Woodbine Mohawk Park. And they're off and pacing. Tender Touch pushes forward to grab early command. At the rail is Biscuit in the Basket. Moment's Pleasure will get him behind their third. The others looking to line up as we go back to Rockin' Play, to Secret Wishes. Then you'll find Beatrice Blue Chip, and the early trailer is Dame de Coeur. They quickly got into single file order, and around the first turn we go. And it is Tender Touch, the Bulldog Hanover filly, in her debut qualifier leading it, and she's a little green to the opening quarter there, maybe having to deal with the shadows. Opening panel was 30 seconds flat. Out of the first turn they go and into the backstretch, and we might get the move here from second from Biscuit in the Basket. Moves to the outside here, but they're moving along nicely. 3/8 of the mile now contested. Biscuit in the Basket. Second qualifier for the daughter of Cattle Wash, trying to swing around to the lead. Tender Touch goes right alongside. Then we're back to Beatrice Blue Chip in third. Racing in fourth is Rockin' Play. Back in fifth is Secret Wishes, who will be followed by Beatrice Blue Chip and a couple more lengths back to Dame de Coeur. 59-1 was the half. It was 29-1 in the second quarter. Making the lead now is Biscuit in the Basket by 2. It's Biscuit in the Basket. In second continues to be Tender Touch after having the early lead. Stablemate Moment's Pleasure is in behind third. Rockin' Play is fourth. Then we're going back to Beatrice Blue Chip on the outside of Secret Wishes, and several lengths back to the trailer Dame de Coeur. Biscuit in the Basket by 3/4 with a lead of a length and a half. 128-3. Head of the lane here for these 2-year-olds, and it is Biscuit in the Basket. Behind in second is Tender Touch. To the outside comes Moment's Pleasure. Back in fourth is Rockin' Play. Beatrice Blue Chip. Then back to Secret Wishes. 1/8 of a mile to go. Biscuit in the Basket, short advantage. Working up on the outside is Moment's Pleasure trying to get by. Biscuit in the Basket and Moment's Pleasure to the edge of the tote board. Biscuit in the Basket, and Moment's Pleasure won't get by. Biscuit in the Basket by half a length. Moment's Pleasure was second. Finishing in third was Tender Touch, and coming on through it appeared to be Beatrice Blue Chip over Rockin' Play for fourth. 157-3. Next qualifier is qualifier number 2. 2-year-old trotters. We're going to scratch number 2, Prepare for War, and number 6, Man King. Chris Matthews drives the 1, Acquittal. That's where we start. 1, Acquittal, gelded son of Archangel. Greg McNair trains, Chris Matthews drives. Number 2 is out. 3 is Summit Bid, a Walner colt, trained by Sean Stacy. The driver is James McDonald. Number 4 is No More Children. Gelded son of Looks Like a Chippendale. Dave Holliday trains Ryan Holliday in the bike. Number 5, Lendl B, King of the North colt, Mark Etzel, trainer driver. 6 is out. 7 is Stormont Golden, a muscle mass colt. And Ben trains Bob McClure in the bike. And number 8, Francesco Hanover, debuting son of Green Shoe for Justin Turcotte, driver Claude Cadeau. Field of 6 now for our second qualifier. 2-year-old trotters to the top of the stretch. Here they come. Qualifier number 2, off stride number 8, Francesco Hanover. The others are off and trotting. In the center of the track, outside lever, Stormont Golden's looking to cross over to the lead. Early break for the 5, Lendl B. Between rivals is No More Children. There's Summit Bid to get away third. Acquittal is in fourth. Back trotting is going to be Lendl B. And then well back to the trailer, Francesco Hanover. As we're into the first turn, out in front here, Bob McClure, Stormont Golden showing the way. And they're by the opening marker in 31 and 2. It's Stormont Golden, second qualifier for this son of muscle mass, on the lead. Second, No More Children. And out from third, here comes Summit Bid. The Walner colt is looking to move up to the top. Back in fourth is Acquittal. 2.5 lengths then to Lendl B. And well back again to Francesco Hanover. So trying to get up to the top. Summit Bid here in the second quarter goes from third to first. And will clear ahead of the midway point. Put Stormont Golden back in second. No More Children back in third. Half-mile time 1:02 and 1. 2-year-old trotters get into the far bend. And Summit Bid is your new leader. Strides out a bit here now to lead it by 3. Stormont Golden in second. No More Children is third. Back in fourth is Acquittal. Then we'll touch in with Lendl B. And the last one, Francesco Hanover. Coming to 3/4. This is Summit Bid. Race near the back in his debut qualifier. Second time out here. And he is going to get them to 3/4 in 1:31 and 1. At the top of the stretch here for Summit Bid. A clear advantage. Stormont Golden, early leader, back in second. No More Children sits in behind. Back to Acquittal. Lendl B made another break going to 3/4. Less than an eighth remaining. And it is all Summit Bid. Here is Summit Bid, a high-priced yearling purchase. This son of Walner. Second time out, going to be a winning qualifier. Going to take this one by close to 8 lengths. Up the inside, No More Children is going to nip Stormont Golden for second. Acquittal was fourth. 2 minutes, 3/5 for Summit Bid. Third qualifier next, 2-year-old Pacers here. Scratch number 9, Ballast Blue Chip. Number 1 is where we start. That's Effortless Hanover, a Captain Treacherous colt for trainer Gary Myrner. The driver is Scott Young. Number 2 is Do It for Joe Louie, Control the Moment colt. Mackenzie Spence trains. Dale Spence will drive. 3 is Always at the Bar, an Always Be Mickey colt for Kevin Ben, driver Louis Waugh. Number 4, Cousin Jethro, Cattle Wash colt. Kevin Ben trains as well. Trevor Henry drives. 5 is J.M. Bodacious, Bulldog Hanover filly. Clement Lozantier, the trainer. Tyler Jones in the bike. 6, Playoff Jimmy, Better's Delight colt. Clark Stacy trains. James McDonald drives. 7, All Pumped Up, American Ideal colt. Sean Stacy, the trainer. Mark McDonald in the bike. 8 is Sir Galloway, a Cattle Wash colt. Zach Carroll trains. Bob McClure drives. And number 9 is Scratched. Here they come, qualifier number 3. They're off and pacing. Getting underway here by watching All Pumped Up. Head out towards the lead. Do It for Joe Louie towards the inside. Good beginning. Will end up in second. And looking to squeeze in third there is going to be Always at the Bar. That one gets in front of Effortless Hanover as we drive to the first turn. Then we're going back to Cousin Jethro, who's going to be followed by Playoff Jimmy. That one tracked by J.M. Bodacious, and the trailer is Sir Galloway. Opening quarter, 30-1. Into the backstretch, and your leader here is All Pumped Up. First time out for this son of American Ideal. Has the lead, but here comes a move from Do It for Joe Louie. On the loop around here for Dale Spence. Second time qualifying for Do It for Joe Louie and becomes your new leader. Back in third is Always at the Bar. Fourth up the backstretch is Effortless Hanover. Next fifth is Cousin Jethro, who's going to be followed by Playoff Jimmy. Then it's 4 lengths back to J.M. Bodacious. Last one is Sir Galloway. 59-2 was the half-mile clocking, so they're rolling along up front. And it is Do It for Joe Louie, who made the move to the top in the second quarter and now takes us into the far turn, All Pumped Up, trying to track along. Is 2 lengths off the leader, though. A bit of a gap going back to Always at the Bar. That forces the hand of Effortless Hanover, who's off the wood from fourth, followed then by Cousin Jethro, and then at the inside is going to be Playoff Jimmy. Your final pair, J.M. Bodacious, Sir Galloway. Three-quarter time, 1:27-2. 28 seconds even in the third quarter. So as mentioned, Do It for Joe Louie. Picked it up here in the middle half and starts to get away. It's Do It for Joe Louie, who now leads it by 6-7 lengths. All Pumped Up. Slows down there in second. The others trying to get by him as it's Effortless Hanover, Always at the Bar, far outside. That's going to be Cousin Jethro, and between horses, that's going to be Playoff Jimmy. But this was all Do It for Joe Louie. Double-digit length margin at the wire. Do It for Joe Louie takes it. All Pumped Up was second, and it looks like Always at the Bar finished third, 155-3. Nice effort for Do It for Joe Louie. On to qualifier number 4 now. 3-year-olds and up on the trot. We're going to scratch number 6, Wheelin' and Stealin'. Dustin Jones drives the 5, Royal Captain. James McDonald drives 7, comma. 1 is a Moticon Legacy. The 4-year-old trained by Luke Blay, Bob McClure drives. 2, Land the Plane. 3-year-old Colt, Carl Jameson trains the drivers Jody Jameson. 3, Pilot Air. 5-year-old gelding, Luke Loyer the trainer. Drivers Tyler Jones. 4, Amigo Mio, an 8-year-old gelding. Trainer Katie Remerswald, driver Brett McDonald. 5, Royal Captain, 3-year-old Colt. Dustin Jones trains and drives. 6 is out, and 7 is comma, 4-year-old gelding. Chris Rogers trains, make the driver James McDonald. Here they come for the 4th. And they're off and trotting. From the center, Amigo Mio's got a little bit of speed going forward, along with Land the Plane. A Moticon Legacy at the rail lets them push ahead, gets away in 3rd. There's Royal Captain to get in front of Pilot Air, and the last one is comma. So it is Amigo Mio, the 8-year-old, out in front, while Land the Plane, the 3-year-old Colt, will follow their 2nd, and then a Moticon Legacy sits there 3rd, 3 off the top. Off stride was the 7, comma, going to the opening quarter. That time 29 and 4, and as we come into the first bend, your leader here is Amigo Mio. In 2nd is Land the Plane, and here comes a Moticon Legacy now. We were waiting on him, and actually Land the Plane's going to come out from 2nd, so that'll put a Moticon Legacy 3 wide up the backstretch here as they are motoring along. Back in 4th is Royal Captain, 2 more lengths into Pilot Air, and well back to the first turn breaker, comma. So a Moticon Legacy ultimately does get up to the top here. Land the Plane wanted to get around so that one could track, as it's a Moticon Legacy 59-1 midway point. Moticon Legacy, and now takes the lead out to 3 lengths here. 2nd consecutive qualifier, as he was on the bench for several weeks after debuting back in early May. So the 4-year-old Moticon Legacy, the well-accomplished trotter, takes a 7-8 length lead down to 3/4. Land the Plane in 2nd. 3rd is Amigo Mio. Then it's Royal Captain, followed by Pilot Air, and the last one was comma, 1:27, the 3/4 time. So a Moticon Legacy went 27 and 4 in the 3rd quarter and looks to finish this one off. Wants to put an exclamation point on this qualifier as a Moticon Legacy continues to prep. He'll be ready for his 4-year-old season debut. He's going to go a good mile today. He's on top by close to 15-20 lengths. Back in 2nd is Land the Plane. It's a Moticon Legacy to win it. Mile time 1:54 and 2, 27 and 2 home. Land the Plane was 2nd. Royal Captain was 3rd. Next is our fifth qualifier. We go back to 2-year-olds here. Scratch number 7, Monomore Station, and number 8, Go Roo Go. So it'll be a field of 6 on the trot, 2-year-olds here. Number 1, Blazin' Amazin', a gelded son of Trixton, is trained by Carl Jameson, the driver, Jody Jameson. Number 2, Mess Around, a gelded son of Muscle Mass for Nick Gallucci, who trains and James McDonald drives. 3 is Stormont Maroon, a Green Manalishi colt, Kevin Ben the trainer, the driver is Louis Waugh. Number 4, Let It Rip, a Muscle Hill colt trained by Blair Burgess, the driver is J.R. Plant. 5, If Possible, a Captain Corey colt for trainer Laura Toscani, the driver Steve Houdon. And number 6 is the Guru. This is an Acurie D colt trained by Ben Bayargent. Trevor Henry does the driving. Scratch numbers 7 and 8. Starting gate approaches the top of the stretch. Qualifier number 5 on this Monday morning, 2-year-old trotters. Inside Out, Blazin' Amazin', Mess Around, Stormont Maroon, Let It Rip, If Possible, and the Guru. Field of 6 for qualifier 5. Off stride at the rail, Blazin' Amazin'. And the others are off and trotting. Splitting rivals heading out towards the top is going to be Let It Rip, but Mess Around had some speed off the wings there, and off stride went Let It Rip. So that will leave Mess Around as your leader. Getting away second will be Stormont Maroon. Then in third, you'll find the Guru. Still off stride there is Let It Rip. Back then we go to If Possible, and resetting was Blazin' Amazin', who also had a miscue at the start. Opening quarter was 29 and 4. It is all Mess Around as we come into the backstretch. A 3-length leader. Another breaker. Off stride went the 6th, the Guru. So that'll leave Mess Around up top. In second, Stormont Maroon. Now moved up into third is If Possible. Quickly back trotting was the Guru. Inside, Blazin' Amazin', and well back then to Let It Rip. As we're midway up the backstretch here, Mess Around is up front. Second continues to be Stormont Maroon. And then in third is If Possible. Wide was the first turn breaker, the Guru. At the inside is Blazin' Amazin'. Let It Rip is last. 1 minute and 4/5 was the half-mile clocking. On to the far turn we go. It's Mess Around by 2 lengths. Stormont Maroon gets a little bit closer now on that leader, and also tightening up If Possible. The Guru on the outside. To that one's left is Blazin' Amazin'. The last one is Let It Rip. So Mess Around is up front. Second qualifier, first time on the lead here. Needs some encouragement going to 3/4. Second is Stormont Maroon. At the rail if possible. The Guru and Blazin' Amazin'. So they're tightly packed at 3/4 in 132 and 2. So a slowing down middle half here for the leader Mess Around, and Stormont Maroon looks to pounce. We'll see if Mess Around can fight on at the inside. Stormont Maroon pokes ahead up in front. If Possible behind there is third. Less than an 1/8 to go. Stormont Maroon, the son of Green Manalishi, has the lead. Outside is If Possible. Mess Around now back in third. Then we go back to the Guru and Blazin' Amazin'. To the wire, it is Stormont Maroon to take qualifier number 5. Stormont Maroon in 2:02 and 1. Starting gate now rolling for our sixth qualifier. Takeouts numbers 3, 6, and 8. 1 is Perfectly Chic, 4-year-old mare. John Pentland trains. Bob McClure drives. 2, All-Star Maniac, 4-year-old gelding for Nick Gallucci, driver James McDonald. 3 is Out. 4 is Summit Sealster, a 4-year-old trained by Corey Giles with Louis Waugh. 5 is Maximus BG, 6-year-old gelding. Ty Robillard trains. Make the driver Scott Young. 6 is Out, and 7 is Caviar Seacrest, 4-year-old gelding trained by Jamie Copley. Trevor Henry in the bike. Number 8 is Scratched. Taking down to a field of 5 for qualifier 6. And they're off and pacing. And striding out, it's going to be Summit Sealster. First call, that one goes to the lead. All-Star Maniac will look to press ahead of Perfectly Chic, who holds ground at the rail. Then it's back to Caviar Seacrest, who got in front of Maximus BG. So driving right through at the inside here is going to be All-Star Maniac. So into the first turn, Summit Sealster will stay wide. Perfectly Chic right along the inside. Then 2 lengths going back to Caviar Seacrest. Another 2 lengths back to Maximus BG. Opening quarter was 29-1. So it is All-Star Maniac that comes away with the lead, and Perfectly Chic, the mare, can track right in behind. Then we're going back to Caviar Seacrest. Summit Sealster, who had speed off the wings here, but this one just sitting out in the center of the track for Waz. He wrestles with that one, and Maximus BG along the cones will track along there and is second from the back. Coming up to the midway point, here is All-Star Maniac, second qualifier of the season here by the half in 58-1. Second quarter was just a smidge quicker than the opening split. Went 29-1, 29 flat. Perfectly Chic is trying to track along in second as they start to ramp it up. Back in third is Caviar Seacrest. Fourth is Maximus BG, and Summit Sealster is the trailer. To 3/4 they go, and it's All-Star Maniac. Coming to 3/4 was a qualifying winner a week ago in 53-3. Leads it by almost 2. Perfectly Chic in second. Third is still Caviar Seacrest, and then back in fourth, Maximus BG. 125-4 to 3/4. So it was a third panel in 27-3, and All-Star Maniac looks like he's going to go a good mile today and a good back half as he takes the lead out to 6 lengths. It's All-Star Maniac into deep stretch. Perfectly Chic back in second. Caviar Seacrest is third, and it's All-Star Maniac, another qualifying score. Perfectly Chic was second. Third was Caviar Seacrest, and then back and forth will be Maximus BG. 152-2, 26-3 on the end of it for All-Star Maniac. Time to resume with today's qualifiers. 2-year-old trotters for the 7th. Scratch number 5, Heaven Awaits. Driver change on 2, King's Lady to Mark McDonald. Number 1, Defy Gravity. Debuting Daughter of Alarm Detector. Greg McNair trains, Doug McNair drives. 2 is King's Lady. Daughter of King of the North, trained by Chantel Mitchell. Make the driver Mark McDonald. 3 is Crazy Little Thing. It's a 2-year-old filly by Acre ED, trained by Julie Walker. The driver is Bert Renault. 4 is Nordique, a debuting Daughter of King of the North for Camille Christoforou, Chris Christoforou in the bike. 5 is out. 6 is Highland Fire and Ice, a Daughter of King of the North, trained by Dominic Ledoux, the driver James McDonald. 7 is Timel Eclipse, a Green Manalishi filly, trained by Bob Young. Scott Young drives. 8 is Elegant Green, Daughter of Green Manalishi, is trained by Jacques Dupont. The driver is Louis Waugh. And number 9 is By My Own Flowers, debuting Daughter of Muscle Mass, trained by Alan Fair. The driver, Tyler Jones. It's a field of 8 for the 7th qualifier today. Total of 12 qualifiers this morning here at Woodbine Mohawk Park. So it's time to start with the back half of today's action. Once again, scratch the 5. Field of 8 for the 7th. Starting gate moves into the stretch. 2-year-old trotters. Qualifier 7. Here they come. And they're off and trotting. A few of them are trying to push ahead. Notably, it's Elegant Green, who's going to be the quickest away. Off the wings nicely was Crazy Little Thing into second. Getting into third, Highland Fire and Ice. Off stride went the 9, By My Own Flowers. Getting away in fourth is going to be Timel Eclipse, going back to King's Lady. Another few lengths back to Defy Gravity. Little Green at the start was debuting Nordique, who was off the gate. That one second from the back, resetting By My Own Flowers, who made an early break. 29 and 2 was the opening panel. And we move to the backstretch here with Elegant Green. The most experienced in the group, already has a couple of parimutuel starts. Trying to get things back on track. Green Manalishi filly leads it by 3. Back in second continues to be Crazy Little Thing, who's tracked by Highland Fire and Ice, who is racing along in third. Timel Eclipse is then in fourth. Fifth up the backstretch is King's Lady, going back to Defy Gravity. And the final pair continue to be Nordique and By My Own Flowers. 59 and 2 was the half, 29 seconds, or 29 and 2 in the opening quarter, 30 seconds in the second split. And it's all Elegant Green. The loose leader at 5 lengths around the far bend. In second, Crazy Little Thing. 2 more lengths to Highland Fire and Ice, who will stay at the rail because off the cones comes Timel Eclipse out from 4th. 5th is King's Lady. Then back to Defy Gravity. And side by side at the back is By My Own Flowers, who's working around Nordique. It was 129 to 3/4. And we're into the stretch. And it has been all Elegant Green. But that one went off stride here in the lane. So Elegant Green went off stride while trying to get this one out of the way, as it looks like Timel Eclipse is going to land right in to a potential qualifying win here. Gets by out in the center of the track. It is all Timel Eclipse. Highland Fire and Ice is now into second. King's Lady tries to finish well, gets up into third. And Crazy Little Thing in fourth. So there you have it. Timel Eclipse in Qualifier 7 will win it in 2:01 and 2. Correction on the final time in qualifier number 7. The final time was 1:59 flat. It was 1:59 flat in qualifier number 7. Next qualifier is the 8th. We're on the pace here. Scratch numbers 2 and 8. 1, Taste the Crunch, 2-year-old colt by Captain Crunch. Blake McIntosh trains. Tyler Borth drives. 2 is out. 3 is Manhattanville. Bulldog Hanover, 2-year-old colt for Clement Lozano TA. Driver Tyler Jones. 4 is Slick Draw, better than Cheddar, 2-year-old colt. Steve Houdon trains and drives. 5, I Believe in Miracles, 2-year-old gelded son of Big Jim. Len Lalonde trains James McDonald in the bike. 6 is Twin B Lamborghini, Sweet Lou, 2-year-old colt for Sean Stacy. Driver Bob McClure. 7, Ceylon Spice, Better's Delight, 3-year-old gelding. Paul Court trains. Mark McDonald drives. 8 is out, and 9 is All Bets on Maggie, a 3-year-old filly trained by Jody Cullen. Al Malloy does the driving. Here they come for the 8th. They're off and pacing. A breaker at the start was number 3, Manhattanville. Went off stride. A little bit of speed here shown by Slick Draw. At least gets the first call. Tucking in behind I Believe in Miracles. Looks like Twin B at Lamborghini is going to head on towards the lead. Taste the Crunch got away in 4th, back to Ceylon Spice. Then getting over to the rails, All Bets on Maggie, and back pacing now catching on up will be Manhattanville. So as mentioned, Twin B Lamborghini was pointed out to the lead, and that one is there by 2. Opening quarter up in 29 and 4. It's Twin B Lamborghini, and this is a son of Sweet Lou. Second time out for this rookie. Leads it by a couple of lengths into the backstretch from Slick Draw in 2nd, followed 3rd by I Believe in Miracles. Then we're going back to Taste the Crunch in 4th. 5th up the backstretch is Ceylon Spice. Then it's about 6 lengths going back to All Bets on Maggie. And then looking to catch up was Manhattanville, but some more struggles, is now well behind. Coming up to the half, it's Twin B Lamborghini by the midway point in 58 and 1. So that's a pretty good opening half mile here off of the 29 and 4 opener. And into the far bend we go. It is Twin B Lamborghini who leads the way. 2nd is Slick Draw. 3rd is I Believe in Miracles. Back and 4th is Taste the Crunch. 5th around the turn is Ceylon Spice. And then well back to the others. All Bets on Maggie and Manhattanville. So Twin B Lamborghini. Yeah, Twin B Lamborghini's got the lead at a length and 3/4 over Slick Draw. And tracking along, I Believe in Miracles. That top 3 hasn't changed. 1:26 and 2 was the 3/4 time. 28 and 1/3 quarter. So Twin B Lamborghini has been rolling right along. Comes out a little bit here in the lane, but still leads it by 2.5 lengths. 2nd is Slick Draw, followed at the rail by I Believe in Miracles. Then we go back to Ceylon Spice and Taste the Crunch. Up the inside, here's Slick Draw trying to get by Twin B Lamborghini, and Slick Draw at the rail will get it. Twin B Lamborghini gives it up late, finishes 2nd. I Believe in Miracles was 3rd. Ceylon Spice and Taste the Crunch, 1:55 and 1. Up next is the 9th qualifier. Scratch the 5 and the 7. One Twinbee Smoke Show, 2-year-old filly. Muscle Mass filly trained by Pam Young, the driver Mark McDonald. 2 Cote d'Ivoire, 2-year-old daughter of Archangel. Dustin Jones trains, Tyler Jones drives. 3 Swinging Chandelier, Luke Blade trains, Bob McClure drives this daughter of Chapter 7. 4 Just Like Ronnie Sang, King of the North filly, Mark Etzel trains and drives. 5 is out. 6 is Time Out Isadora, Green Manalishi filly, Chantel Mitchell trains, Louis Watt drives. 7 is out, and 8 is Speedy Mass, a Muscle Mass 2-year-old filly. Bob Young trains, the driver is Scott Young. Here they come. Off and trotting in qualifier 9, and as the 2-year-olds are sent on their way, Swinging Chandelier swings right out to the top. Speedy Mass, the first timer, crosses over. Good beginning. That one will get right into second. Moves up there in front of Time Isadora third. Then fourth is Cote d'Ivoire, going back to Twinbee Smoke Show. And the last one in line is Just Like Ronnie Sang. As we go to the first turn here, Swinging Chandelier is out in front for McClure. And this one fronts by a length and a half. Right there in second with Speedy Mass, who got off to a nice beginning. They were by the opening quarter in 29-1. 2-year-old trotters swing to the backstretch. Swinging Chandelier is out in front. This is a daughter of Chapter 7. Leads the way. A breaker in the second quarter. Off stride went the 6. Timel Isadora. Timel Isadora made a miscue. Up the backstretch we march. Leader is Swinging Chandelier. Speedy Mass in second. Now into third is Cote d'Ivoire. Followed then in fourth. Up the backside by Twinbee Smoke Show. Going back to Just Like Ronnie Sang. Back trotting is Timel Isadora. 1 minute and 2/5 was the half. We get the lead change up front now. So Speedy Mass, we like the looks of that one in the opening half mile. And that one goes second to first. Loops around Swinging Chandelier. It's Cote d'Ivoire in third. Then followed in fourth by Twinbee Smoke Show. Going back to Just Like Ronnie Sang. And the last one is Timel Isadora. Coming to 3/4 here. And Speedy Mass is out in front by a length and 3/4. 1:30-4, the 3/4 time. And they now get to the head of the chain. And it is Speedy Mass the leader. Swinging Chandelier in second. Will try to come back for the retake. Then in third continues to be Cote d'Ivoire. Fourth is Twinbee Smoke Show. Going back to Just Like Ronnie Sang. And Timel Isadora. So coming back by Swinging Chandelier. Hanging in there, Speedy Mass. Swinging Chandelier by ahead. Coming down to the wire, Swinging Chandelier. First one there. Second, Speedy Mass. Finishing in third, Cote d'Ivoire. And fourth was Twinbee Smoke Show in 2 minutes and a fifth. Next qualifier, qualifier number 10. As the gate moves into position. Scratch numbers 2, 7, and 9. 2, 7, and 9 are out. Driver change on 1. Century Nantucket to Doug McNair. That's where we start. 2-year-old Colt by Better's Delight is Century Nantucket. Herb Holland trains. Doug McNair drives. Number 2 is out. 3, Moonlit Dancer is a Bulldog Hanover 2-year-old gelding. Chantel Mitchell trains. The driver is Louis Waugh. 4, Strike the Pose, Cattle Wash 2-year-old gelding. James McDonald drives for trainer Camille Christoforou. Number 5 is going to be Carlu Gambino, gelded son of Danson Lou. Gary Murner trains the driver Mark McDonald. Number 6 is All Day Hanover. That's a gelded son of Stay Hungry. Nicky Kamenya, the trainer. The driver's Phil Houdon. 7 is Scratch. Number 8 is Havarti Party. That's a Better Than Cheddar colt. Kevin Johnson trains. Tyler Borth drives. And number 9 is Scratched. Starting gate approaches the top of the stretch for the 10th qualifier, 2-year-old Pacers. Here they come. They're off and pacing. Driving down the center is going to be All Day Hanover, who blasts forward at the rail of Century Nantucket. Moonlit Dancer, likely to slip in behind, looking to do the same, is going to be Strike the Pose, and back to Carlu Gambino, and the last one is going to be Havarti Party. Out to the lead went All Day Hanover, and All Day Hanover, son of Stay Hungry, leads it by about 4. Wide around the shadows into the first turn with Century Nantucket in second, who moves down to the cones in front of Moonlit Dancer in third. 29-4 was the opening split. Straightening into the backstretch, All Day Hanover the loose leader. Century Nantucket is second. Moonlit Dancer then follows in third, tracked closely by Strike the Pose in fourth. 2 lengths back to Carlu Gambino, and the last one continues to be Havarti Party. Field of 6 goes up the backside. They're separated by 12 lengths front to back, and it's still All Day Hanover on that loose lead. Coming up to the midway point. Half-mile time, 59-1. Second quarter in 29-2. And it continues to be All Day Hanover. Second time out here for All Day Hanover. And onto the far bend. Century Nantucket now trying to get a little bit closer in second. Going back to Moonlit Dancer in third. Strike the Pose still there fourth. Carlu Gambino fifth, and sixth is Havarti Party to 3 quarters. And closing in on the leader was Century Nantucket, and moves to the outside to confront All Day Hanover. They're side by side at 3 quarters in 128-3, and the Pacers get into the lane. Outside is Century Nantucket. Trying to fight back will be All Day Hanover at the rail. Then we'll find Moonlit Dancer on the outside third from Strike the Pose. Havarti Party now into fifth ahead of Carlu Gambino. Short lead here for Century Nantucket. Century Nantucket a 16th remaining. All Day Hanover second. Outside Moonlit Dancer. Inside Strike the Pose. Century Nantucket to win it. Takes it by about 2.5 lengths in 156-4. Horses are lined up for our 11th qualifier. And as you can see, quite a few scratches out of this one. Scratch numbers 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 are all out, just a field of 3. 1, I Am That Special, 3-year-old daughter of Muscle Mass. Paul Walker trains and drives. Next door is number 2, All-Star Dustin, 2-year-old gelded son of my MVP. Julie Walker trains, Burt Renault drives. And then we go to the 9, Thwarter, 3-year-old daughter of Archangel. Corey Fuller, the trainer. Brady Galliers does the driving. Field of 3 on gate for the 11th qualifier. And they're off and trotting. It's going to be Thwarter, who steps ahead of All-Star Dustin, and I Am That Special gets away in third. So Thwarter, 3-year-old daughter of Archangel, made a miscue in her last few efforts, so trying to rebound today. Goes out to the top from All-Star Dustin. This is the second qualifier for this son of my MVP, 2-year-old. Tracks the 3-year-old filly. Is actually sandwiched between a couple of 3-year-old fillies, as I Am That Special. The Muscle Mass filly is third. 30-4 was the opening quarter. We move into the backstretch, and it is Thwarter, the leader. Thwarter, who has 2 wins on the season from 9 starts, has a lead of about 3.5 lengths. From All-Star Dustin, I Am That Special. Moves to the outside. Going to be chased along, trying to get around into second. Thwarter still with the lead here. And Thwarter trots along nicely up to the half and clocking a 59-4. So picking it up with a 29-second second quarter. Thwarter goes on to the far bend. Career mark of 157-4. Taking over the half at Flamborough this season. Second is I Am That Special. And so that one has moved up a position. Continues to be pushed along. It is 2 lengths off the leader. And All-Star Dustin, the 2-year-old gelding, is there third, about 4 lengths off the lead. So here's Thwarter coming to 3 quarters and going to get by that station in 129-1. Top of the stretch here, and Thwarter will look to keep distance in front of I Am That Special, and then back to All-Star Dustin. So with an 1/8 of a mile left, Thwarter does get away on I Am That Special, and All-Star Dustin back in third. Thwarter, as mentioned, was looking to rebound this morning, and will do just that. It will be Thwarter all the way, taking our 11th qualifier. I Am That Special, All-Star Dustin. Mile time, 158-2. Final qualifier today. 3-year-olds on the pace, scratch the 7 and the 8. One is Dea, 3-year-old filly trained by Jack Darling. The driver is Jody Jameson. 2 could be King, 3-year-old gelding. Cattle Wash, son, Nick Galucci trains, James McDonald in the bike. 3, A Clean Deal, 3-year-old filly trained by Kyle Fellows with Doug McNair. 4, Run to the Hills, 3-year-old gelding, Gabby Sasso trains, Jared Plant drives. 5, Cold Creek Cali, a 3-year-old filly, Mike Bishop trains, Louis Waugh. 6, Walk of Life, Bob McClure for John Pentland, a 3-year-old gelding. And on the outside, number 9 is Philly Stranger, 3-year-old gelding trained by Luke Blay. Tyler Jones is doing the driving. So they're off in pacing here in the 12th, and it will be a Clean Deal out to the lead. It's a Clean Deal to strike the early position up top. In second is going to be her rival Dea. Lined up in third is Could Be King, and then we get into the first turn, followed in fourth by Walk of Life. 5th is Run to the Hills. 6th is Cold Creek Cali, and Philly Stranger is 7th. 29 and 1 was the opening quarter, and it's a Clean Deal into the backstretch. The O'Brien Award winner, a Clean Deal. 4 for 6 this season after the 6-4-7 rookie campaign. And she's up top by 2. In second is Dea, and that one tightens back up there. In third is Could Be King. 4th is going to be Walk of Life. 5th in line is Run to the Hills. Then 6th is Cold Creek Cali, and 2 lengths back to Philly Stranger. No change in order here in the second split. The half was up in 57 and 4. 28 and 3 second quarter. It is a Clean Deal. On to the far turn, so a Clean Deal. Dea tracking in second, both qualifying. Their most recent start back on June 26th in an OSS Gold where they finished 1 up top, the other in second. On to 3 quarters, a Clean Deal. Dea. 3rd is Could Be King. 4th is Walk of Life. Then to Run to the Hills, followed by Cold Creek Cali and Philly Stranger. Dea's angled out from second. 1:26 and 3 was the 3-quarter time. So a Clean Deal into the lane. And Dea on the outside is trying to get up to the wheel, but a Clean Deal turns it into the final quarter sprint here now. Off 1:26 and 3 to 3 quarters, and a Clean Deal leads it by 2. Dea gets back in behind second. Here comes Run to the Hills with a good final quarter into third from Could Be King in fourth, but it is a Clean Deal, gate to wire here in our final qualifier. Dea finishes in second. 3rd was Run to the Hills. Could Be King fourth. 1:53 and 3, 27 seconds on the end of it for a Clean Deal.